Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be installing the software for the Epson WF-7610, and we'll be installing it on a network at the same time. Now, I just unboxed this printer. It is one hunk of hardware, giant box, giant printer. It does up to 13 by 19 media, and it can scan A3 11 by 17 originals, both on the platen and through the document feeder. So it is one hunk of a printer. And the only reason I'm really even bringing it up is because it's on sale for $149.99 on Epson's website. The only thing I would be a little nervous about is how much the ink costs, because I got to make the money somehow. The ink cartridges were on the small side, but they do have XL, two sizes of XL cartridges. The first set of XL cartridges gets 1,100 pages per cartridge, and then there's a black XL extra high capacity cartridge that I believe is 2,100 or 2,200 pages. So let's get going on this. But still, it is one hunk of a printer for $149.99, and it is pretty big because it can do huge paper. So you're gonna have some space. You're gonna have some space to install this. And I don't know why you would buy anything else, except that the cost per page costs a fortune, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know why anybody would buy this printer, except that they don't have the physical space. So let's. I missed the opportunity to get that going automatically. It shouldn't be any different than what we saw on the other WorkForce printers that we've done recently, so I expect it to be fairly reasonable. So accept the license agreement, drivers and utilities, and a user guide link. Allow the firewall to unblock utilities. Install. Now this printer has Epson Connect, which means that it can do just about any kind of remote or mobile printing that you want to do. It also has Wi-Fi direct, so you don't need to actually can use the Wi-Fi to print without actually having it installed on a network, and without actually logging into the network. I'm not so sure about whether you can do Wi-Fi direct without it being connected to a network, but you can certainly do wireless printing without connecting to the network that the printer is installed on. So maybe you know better, but the beauty of that is that you can walk up to it in proximity, wireless Wi-Fi proximity with any Wi-Fi device, and print to it as long as you have the drivers installed. So let's install the drivers and utility. It seems stuck at 12%. Okay, it just bumped up to 13. It was making me nervous there. Yeah, and the drive light is going, so it's doing something. The monitor has already been installed. Looks like it's running. Okay, I just installed the OCR and PDF stuff. And it's moving right along. Alright, being prompted for printer setup. Alright, we already set it up on wireless over there, but let's do it again. You can do it wired and direct USB. Printer is already on my wireless network. We'll set it up for the first time. Now, I never really verified. It said it was going to take a while to show up as being connected to my wireless network. The light's not blinking or anything. And it's saying from the menu that it's set up, so it's already on my wireless network. Next. Next. Okay, you can see that it installed all this Epson stuff quite a bit in comparison to, say, the OfficeJet 8600. There's only two. And right now it's telling me my firewall warning, allow access. Next. Searching for the printer. And it found it. Now it wants me to print a test page. I don't want to waste the ink, so I'm going to say, or the paper. Next. Would you like to set up your fax number now? No. It'll walk you through setting up your fax, your header, downloading firmware. It's checking out over the internet to see whether it needed new firmware, and it's going to do that as well. It's going to update the firmware on the printer. Start. And sometimes this takes a while. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. In the meantime, it installed. Well, it's going fast here. In the meantime, it installed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 programs in my on this computer. Like I said, in the OfficeJets only have two. The printer's hemming and hawing behind me. The control panel of the printer is telling me not to mess with it. It's going to restart. And the blue Wi-Fi light over here is blinking. And there's two printer monitors down here now. Let's hope one of them goes away. Epson calls it, I think it's called Status Monitor 3. Epson Status Monitor 3. And like I said, this can take a long time, and it is taking a long time. We're up to 71, 72%. And we'll just make some musical note sound. Printer is restarting. Control panel is lit up. It really is a nice big responsive touchscreen for $149.99. But like I said, you got to get the money back somehow. So the I would watch my ink consumption on this printer and use black and white high capacity cartridges, and on print in color when you have to. Okay, update successful, finish. Its software installation and printer setup are complete. Excellent. It should take us into the online registration setup. Product registration, and telling you the benefits of registering. Next, we do too many printers to register them all, so I'm gonna, instead of filling out all this stuff, I'm going to just go next. And it's gonna make us fill in everything. Required fields: country, first name, last name, address. Now, Epson can make a few bucks selling this data or using it for something. I don't know if this manages to get published in the video. I don't want any of you jokers contacting us. Probably edit it out, but I'm pleased with the serial number. Okay, I picked it up. And widers 2 here. That always mystifies me. Okay, let's see something wrong here. Primary place of use. Type of business. Windows. Where did you buy? I got it as a test unit. So we'll just say got it from Epson. No, I don't want to be in Epson mail. I don't want direct mail, and I don't want to tell you about what I'm printing. Okay, product registration over with, and I don't see anything from Epson Connect popping up. So let's see what was installed. Quickly run through them. Now, I'm not going to go through everything in detail because it's the same exact software as the WorkForce WF-7510, I believe it was, and the last 2 Epsons that we tested, and those videos are available on our YouTube channel, the Worth Consulting YouTube channel. So what I installed was Epson Scan, the scan settings, the user's guide, the software updater, the event manager, and the fax utility. Fax utility is to fax from your PC and set up your address book. The event manager is to set up what happens when you press certain scan buttons on the control panel of the printer. This Epson Scan settings is what happens when you set up your Epson Scan. So when you do Epson Scan, you can set up stuff with Epson Scan. There's 2 modes: professional and office mode, and it's really a nice, simple UI with lots of really powerful scan settings. It's easier than most. Let's just look at the scan settings, and this basically tells the software which scanner you want to use with that particular Epson Scan UI. There could be, if we had more than one Epson on here, it would show up. Okay, and we still have 2 of these things down here, which I don't need 2 of them, so give me a break with this. And this is one of the things that's annoying about these latest Epsons, is that now I have two of them here. Why I need two of them, I'll never know. And I'm not going to take the chance of removing this right now. But every time you say printer preferences, I don't know, it doesn't. Sometimes, like with these HPs, it'll bring up two of them. Anyway, let's look at the front driver real quick. Same as the WF-7610. 4590 that we just got done testing, as well as some of the last two precision core models that we tested. And I think that's just about it. And we don't need to go over this event manager or the fax utility. So it's pretty easy. I'm looking forward to running scan and print tests. There's also a embedded web server. Let's take a look at that. And it's giving me a security warning. Continue this website. And here you can also do a bunch of stuff to set up the printer and check its status. Here's your ink colors. Here's your maintenance box status. So you can perform maintenance from here. Also, it shows you all information on how many copies, prints, two-sided, color, scans, faxes, print from USB, print from a mobile device. Now, this particular model didn't have PCL PostScript, but that's okay. It's got Escape PR. Your default settings, scan to cloud, printer settings, Wi-Fi settings. It has LDAP for email. You can look at your network email server and search your corporate email address book. And it has some security settings, and down here your basic settings. You can set up Epson Connect here, Google Cloud Print, AirPrint. You can configure your Wi-Fi Direct. So that's all done by entering the IP address of the printer. You can get it from the control panel if you don't know it. You can also get it from the print driver by doing this. And right click and do printer properties, ports, and it usually tells you what the address is. If it doesn't tell you here, well, it's not telling me at all, so sometimes that happens too. So you get it from the control panel, the IP address, type it in here, and you can do all kinds of setup stuff from here. You still have to go into your scan settings in your event manager to manage the scan settings. So that's it. Not too hard to do. The event manager is a little tricky to set up your what to do, what the unit does when you say scan to PC from the control panel. It sets your defaults for file locations, and if you say PDF, you want to go to this folder and you want this resolution. If you say OCR, you want it to be this format, either Word or or plain text that go to this folder. So that's what that's all about, the event manager. Anyway, there's a set of Epson folders someplace that are that are set to default folders. Anyway, you can change them. I can't find them right now, but you can change them. So that's it.